to order at 6:05. We'll start with the hearing on the utility disconnects. I don't see anybody present.
I can make a motion to approve disconnects.
Okay, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Public comments? Are you here for the bid opening? Okay. So no comments? None. And we'll go to our BFNS engineer for the evening.
All right. Well, we have received bids for the wastewater treatment improvement project. Looks like we've got 4 bids that were received here, and all of them were marked as having been received in time. So I'm going to do my best to open these without cutting myself too badly. I'll read you the name of the bidder, and then I will be reading 3 different numbers. There is a base bid, an alternate bid 1, and an alternate bid 2 for this project.
Okay.
All right, so the first one I have is from Graves Construction Services.
Graves?
Graves, Graves. Make sure I'm getting these. Okay. So the first number, this is the lump sum bid price for the base bid.
Okay,
So this is the base bid work.
Okay.
This is $1,242,424.00. So that's 1,242,424, which is very fun. That's the base bid. Make sure I'm getting alternate bid number 1. The total for alternate bid number 1 is $142,142.00. 142,142.
Like the 4s and the 2s.
Graves always does that.
And then alternate, you'll love this, Drew. Alternate bid number 2 is $74,747.00. 74747. So that was Graves.
Okay.
And I'm happy to reread those.
Through the bid packets.
Yeah, can we just start with the beginning of the night?
Yep.
All right, yeah, if you would.
Okay, so we've opened one so far, and that was Graves Construction. The base bid number was $1,242,424.00. Alternate bid number 1 from them was $142,142.00. And alternate bid number 2 was $74,747.00.
Yes, I do, yeah. I have nothing. Totally unprepared. Could have used my phone.
Everybody ready for the second bid?
Yep.
This is from Maddox Industrial, MADDOX. So their base bid number is $1,034,000. and 0 cents. So 1034000. The price for alternate bid number 1 is $169,000.00. And the price for alternate bid number 2 is $81,500.00.
Repeat that, 81.5.
$81,500.
Okay.
Okay. The next one I have is from FH Passion. That's PASCHEN.
Can you spell that again? Sorry.
PASCHEN. FH Passion. Okay. So FH Fashion, their base bid amount is $1,026,000.00. So 1,026,000. Alternate bid number 1 is $138,607.00. 138,607. And then alternate bid number 2 is $71,429.00. So 71429. You got all those? The last one we have here is from Ottenweller Contracting, OTTENWELLPR,
Contracting.
Contracting. Their total base bid price is $1,265,790.00. 1,265,790.00. Alternate bid number 1 is $170,285. I think it's a 7. Bear with me a second, see if it's written down here. Yeah, it's a 7. 170,285. And then their price for alternate bid number 2 is $81,845.00. 81,845. So those are the 4 bids that we have received. Are there any questions? Sir, did you sign in?
Oh, no, I
If you could do that, please, we'd appreciate it. Thank you. Any questions?
So what's the alternate stuff about the alternate one?
The alternate is additional sewer line sections out in the system. That was a way for us to try and make sure that we could get a project that would fit within the
And it doesn't,
not the moment.
So I need a motion to take the bids under advisement.
I'm gonna take the bids.
Thank you.
Dad and Linda. That's the order I heard them in. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And then that,
He was with Ottenwell. So we'll review these bid packets, make sure they're complete. There are several other items that they needed to submit, more than just their price. We'll make sure that those are all in there. Review them for completeness, make sure there's no math errors or anything like that. And then we'll have a summary and recommendation of award moving forward from that.
Sounds good. At least we have 4
yes,
choices.
There were
I've heard of one.
There were like 10 plan holders, 5 of which would have been a general contractor, and 4 of those 5 submitted a bid, so.
For
What was
our
the-
projects, that's a lot.
Yeah.
what was the name of that first?
Graves Construction. They're out of Swit City, Indiana. I think that's outside of Fort Wayne. But
Yeah.
They've done a lot of work in our town.
Yeah, Graves is the only one I recognize.
So
I
their
think I've
alternate-
heard of Maddox, but
Their alternate one bid,
Graves' alternate one bid was 142,142.
and 0 cents.
yeah.
Nobody threw pennies at us on this one, so that's.
I was waiting for a 4.2. And,
Yeah, says.
all right. Do you have any project updates for us?
I'm gonna apologize here, I'm kind of shooting from the hip here. Dave ran through them with me really quick, the other day. The big one, I believe, is on the, final walkthrough with DNR on trail. I think we wanted to coordinate that with them before we review final punch on anything else, to make sure that they don't come out left field with anything, anything on that. Sounded like the Animal Crossing had been installed.
We got dinged, would you call it dinged? We got highly suggested that we complete the Animal Crossing at the bridge, under the bridge, so the little animals can go across and get to the other side.
I think the rocks look good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I did have a couple of people ask me if the bridge was going to be coated with something, because when you touch it or you look over, it's like rust.
So, and this is my understanding of that finish, is it's meant to age a little bit and then it will no longer have that kind of,
Okay, so that just comes with aging. Okay, good to know.
it's meant to have that kind of rustic,
Okay. But it won't
you know,
peel off or lean on your clothes after.
it will for now, but after it weathers for a little bit,
Okay.
it should not.
All right, good to know.
The sun
Kind of
will
like
take
when
it
you
off.
see a new manhole cover that goes in, it looks rusty, but then after a couple of years, it doesn't.
Okay. Well, now I have an answer.
And you all got the dates and times for the park dedication and trail dedications?
Yes, and I won't be here for the Briar, but I will be here for the Garrett.
I have to double check the time, but I may not be here for the Briar.
So the Friday one?
No, that's
No,
the
Saturday.
Saturday one. This
Yeah,
next Saturday.
Same day as the alumni dinner, their alumni dinner too, which means Briar and Jake are having there and then going to the alumni, or, so.
Probably, that's probably why they,
Yeah.
It will be Iowa's both time for one and Cincinnati for the other. I hate that.
is Lisa and the kids all coming for them?
As far as I know, to pick the date, so
And we'll have
the next
DNR,
pound's on the 29th.
and we'll have DNR contingent here too.
Sounded like they were probably gonna send, could be sending a number of people.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me because, yeah, we were supposed to get a speaker.
That's right.
The DNR is sending a speaker.
I hate this.
But as well respect
For
for
the
the, for dirt.
Oh, to do the
But as well known as Dirk was in the DNR. That doesn't surprise me. He was well loved over there, so.
You guys will have to record it. Let's see after all this.
Live stream it for you.
Okay.
Anything else for us?
I don't have anything that I can speak on with him. For-
Gotcha.
How about the CC&G ceiling, are they, do you guys get a date on that yet?
If we do, I don't know. My apologies.
That's fine.
They're probably waiting to see if we get when we're gonna get our, so we can't do anything until we got our contract from the state and our purchase order saying they're sending me the money. But I got that information today, so I have the signed contract with the state for the grant, and they said that due to their switching the fiscal year, the PO will be delayed, but not too long, so as soon as she had it, she'd send it to me.
Are you talking about the new CCMG or are you talking about the cracks?
The crack
ceiling?
Oh, I was talking the new one.
He said we were on the front of, at the last meeting, Dave said we were on the front of their agenda.
Front of their list,
Yeah.
but,
It's not been warm enough, I don't think, for them to
oh,
start.
it's raining every other day too, so
Yeah.
kind of hard to seal something that's wet.
Yeah.
Oh, I see stuff on TV all the time.
Flex seal.
Yeah,
Why are we
in the
doing the
lake.
streets with flex seal?
Right.
All right, the minutes. Did everybody get a chance to read them? And I will entertain a motion to approve the April minute.
Second?
Sure. First, I guess me. Yeah, Melinda, Amy and Linda.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Approval of claims. Jackie's gonna be kind enough and read them for me since I don't have my laptop with me tonight.
Okay, general, 28,656.75. MBH, 6,000. Development fund, 4,750. Community center fund, 500. Water and utilities, 87,922.97. NDOT grant fund, 6,158.63. Water operating, 128,236.19. Customer utility deposit fund, $324. Wastewater treatment operating, 79,562.75. Wastewater construction fund, 33,156.49. Stormwater utilities operating, 3,502.27. Payroll, 50,071.14, for a grand total of 428,884.19.
Can I make a motion to approve the claims for May 7th, 2026?
A second.
All in favor? All opposed? Department head reports. Did Tim have anything for us? Okay, nothing. And you're,
Okay, ordinance 2026-0507A, this got put together at the last minute, and it's retroactive to April 20th. And it is because you guys had already approved through the apprenticeship program what Aaron's salary increases were gonna be when he meets those milestones. State Board of Accounts has come along and is now advising people that even though we approved that, it needs to be part of the salary ordinance. So this is just putting what you already approved into the salary ordinance. And Aaron did meet all of his points for his first 1,000 hours of training, or however that works. And we got the call from the apprenticeship program that as of 4/20, he was due his first raise. So therefore, we put it into effect 4/20.
Okay.
So that's the only change on here, is just adding that.
I'll need a motion for ordinance 2026-0507A.
I'll make a motion for ordinance 2026-0507A.
I'll second.
All in favor? All opposed?
Okay, some financial information. So in front of you, you have that the Farmers and Merchants CD, the yield rate. So currently, our Farmers and Merchants bank accounts are earning either 0.01% or 0.1%. And their 5-month CDs are 3.65 yield, annual yield, and 9 months is 3.40 annual yield. Our Alliance bank account is currently at the 0.01%. 5 months is 3.55, 9 months is 3.24, and then their 24 months is a whopping 1.96%. So, we have had an account.
Hold your money longer, make less.
Less, exactly, it's backwards from the way it used to be, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. But that's what they tell me, and it's been that way for a few years now, the longer, it's just crazy. So Trust Indiana, we've talked about that a few times, we have an account with them. And, so it isn't tied to any months, it's basically, we put our money over there, and I can move it back and forth as much or as often as I want. And that rate does change with the Fed rates in the market a little bit. It's been pretty steady this year at around that 3.6 mark. It's been a little up and down, but it's been right there. So when I pulled this report the other day, it was 3.64 is the annual yield. So obviously we can gain a whole lot more moving our money there and not having it tied up for months. I looked at our bank statements today when I was balancing the books, and we have 3 bank accounts, and we currently, between all 3, got about $89 in interest.
Oh my gosh.
And if we move what I'm about to suggest to the Trust Indiana account, we would be between $1,400 and $1,500 a month.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's a no-brainer. But you guys get to decide if you wish me to do that.
So moving it back and forth, how easy is that to do? Is it
Easy.
instantaneous? Is it?
All I do is I go online, I tell it to move it back over or move it. They're linked to our bank accounts. It's kind of like a sweep thing.
Mm-hmm.
If we're in by 2 o'clock, it's next day. If it's not, it'll be 2 days because of the time of day. So it's very quick and it's a very simple process to move the money back and forth. And so, when I was looking at funds available to invest, and this is very conservative because until I get Dee and I a handle on how this really works, what I looked at is what we have in the bank accounts, and then what our budget is for the year, and any excess. I'm just looking at the excess. So anything we have for currently budgeted, we can cover, or we need it. Obviously, we need more money coming in for the general, but, so the MVH fund, we can move 40,000, LRS 14,000, public safety 27,000, CCI 3,000, wastewater depreciation 25,000, wastewater debt reserve 126,000, water depreciation, 143,000, and water debt reserve, 101,000, for a total of $479,000 to move over to them and let us earn some more money. And I do think once we see how this is all gonna flow with bank statements and balancing and everything, we can do more because we can get it back in just a couple of days, but I just
We
wanted
can
to.
move all of this. We could move all of this.
Right now, we
We
can
should be
do
putting in
loans.
479,000.
We'd have to use money back to take care of all of it.
Current bills.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
And this is a monthly rate of the three.
yes, so it does fluctuate, but it has been, I looked at historic for this year and it's been very steady so far this year.
Be able to see it from last year,
I could pull it, I haven't, but.
3, 4 year.
I mean, it's still a lot better than
Oh, yeah.
any of our other,
Right.
even if it went down a few.
10.10.
Yeah, and that's what I'm curious about too, is what does the Fed interest rate do to this? If it goes down, this goes down, I assume.
Yes.
So,
If it goes
and the
up,
likelihood, and of course, the others will too.
right.
So I just go into it with the expectation that, there's a big push to change Fed, right?
Mhm,
Because somebody wants the interest rates to go down,
mhm.
right? And if that happens, then our rate of return may not be as good, but still probably will be better
Yeah.
than the banks.
Well, and the other benefit is it's a quick in and out, like we don't have to hold it for 6 months or 9 months.
We need it.
If we need it, we can
Right,
get it back.
right.
And
So-
we'll usually get it back.
So,
I think that's the one thing I just want to be
yes.
clear of, is that we go into this with an expectation, and a year from now, it may not be the same.
Absolutely.
Right, we may not have that.
It may not be the same in 6 months.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And so with that, I would like you guys to pass a resolution to invest funds in Trust Indiana. And I'm not asking for that amount, I'm asking that, because I'm the chief financial officer, that I'm having you create what's called sub-accounts within our Trust Indiana account, so that we would be moving money from the NVH fund to the NVH Trust sub-account, local road and streets to the Trust Indiana local road and streets sub-account, and so forth. So this is saying I can move money from these funds in our checkbooks to these sub-accounts in our Trust Indiana account, and that I will do that as we feel comfortable with it and how that will work, but I'm not gonna do it without I'm gonna do it, but then I'm gonna report to you monthly if we've had to move anything back or if we moved more over.
Okay.
So that you guys are kept aware of where the money is sitting. They just like to have something saying that you're aware I'm doing this. So, so that's all that is about, just that based on, whatever's in the best interest of the town, I'll be moving money back and forth between these two, from the checkbooks to the Trust Indiana. That's all that resolution is saying. If you want me to do it.
You have a note down here, interest earned in the debt reserves, once fully funded, will be posted to the bond and interest accounts.
Yes, so we are required by law or by our bonds that we have to have whatever they say our debt reserve, and we have to have it fully funded. Well, once it's fully funded, there's no reason for it to grow, but we want it to grow. But then we can take that excess and help pay off our bond. So that's why I'm saying, once we've met that match, then we can just
What is fully funded?
fully fund it.
Fully funded, you have the debt reserve that we would transfer is 126 and 101.
So wastewater is fully funded at the moment, but
Okay.
it will change as soon as we go into new bond.
Okay,
And water, we are still transferring, is that on this claims or next claims? I think it's like 5 or 6, I don't remember. We are still transferring monthly, our small monthly required amount. I think we're getting close to having that one fully funded by the end of this year, or middle of next, we'll have that funded too.
Okay.
So, there's a formula they do, and then they just, when they do the bonding, then they say, this is what you gotta transfer every month to the debt reserve. So, But rather than put it in operating and spend it, I think it's best utilized to pay down. The debt. So.
Yeah.
That's my recommendation.
I need a motion for resolution 2026-0507A.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-0507.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay,
Playground equipment.
playground equipment, you all saw my pictures and my
Yes.
quote.
That was very nice stuff.
And we, it is similar to kind of what we have down there, except what we have is wood and was bought at Siemens Club. And it's not commercial, this is commercial and more long-lasting material. The wood one really needs to go. It really needs to go. And I just don't want a big hole sitting there.
Right.
So this is more for the younger, that other one, even though the youngers are over there, we're trying to make here's for the smaller kids, here's for the bigger kids. So this would be more for the smaller kids. And Craig, I printed you off stuff too, since you,
Was that any, oh, okay, that is what that is, okay. Thank you.
yeah.
Did you this picture?
And then, so that set is $3,231, and it says free delivery and setup within 50 miles, and we're 51. So I hope I can
Finagle
do
that?
it for free, but I can't promise that.
Well, the guys will be good to, or glad to hear that.
Yes, they will.
Free setup.
And let me tell you, so the riverboat, is that what it's, riverboat? Yes, riverboat. So we had budgeted money in riverboat. We do different things with riverboat. Riverboat is for any governmental purpose. We were earmarking it for the project that we just did with CCMG. It came in under budget, so we don't need to utilize it for streets this year. So that's why I'm like, now would be a good time to utilize some riverboat money to replace that piece of playground equipment. And then I'll talk about my other idea next. But we have $19,000 available in riverboat. So $3,231, if you so choose for me to research this and get that coming.
I'll make
Yes.
a motion to do the playground equipment.
I'll second.
Pick one. Would you pick
Go.
Linda.
Linda? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Banners is next on your list.
Okay, so at the time I sent you guys the email, we had not heard the status of the veterans banners, so we got information today. So let me share that first. So we didn't think, since we hadn't heard anything, that was still a couple months away. But they got ordered through the Veterans Affairs Office. They got on the 5th. They got ordered on the 5th. They are planning that they should be in the beginning to middle of June, and they want them up by 4th of July. So that is a positive that they're coming quicker than we thought. There's a couple hiccups. So when we worked with the Legion, Legion went out and got pictures, talked to family, got pictures, and got that up to the Veterans Affairs. And we were under the understanding that the commissioners were going to be donating money for this project. The commissioners donated, and I don't know where that information came from. So the commissioners is giving the legions money, the different legions, for to replace their uniforms and that kind of stuff, but not for the banners. So for Jim Jim Gick had went out. So apparently Fowler, Oxford had the memo that they were gonna have to pay for them. We didn't know that. And then, so when he went and, so Fowler and Oxford had family members pay for the banners. We didn't know to do that. They don't wanna go back and ask the family now. They've got the pictures and was saying that they were gonna do this, you know, as part of the project. So the Legion currently has fitted the bill, and they're not real happy about that, and I don't blame them. They had other reasons, and Legions doesn't have a lot of money. So, so that's one. Should we reimburse the Legion for the $2,300 for the banners? Or meet them in the middle, or I don't know. That's something we need to talk about. Number two problem is we had 20 light poles. They had 23 families submit photos that went up for banners. So now we have 23 banners
And 20 light
and
poles.
22 light poles. We have 20 light poles and 23 banners.
So we have 3 extras.
And so we obviously got to figure out how to get them up. I mean, it is a great project. I think it's great. The word today was throughout the county, there's going to be 89 banners of veterans, pictures of veterans, and I think that is so cool. So 89 throughout the county, of which 23 are here in Auburn.
Wow.
So how we get a double banner, don't know if that's even possible to ours, what that cost is gonna be to add 3 to have it on the other side, so there would be 2 on 3 of the, I don't even know, that's one idea.
Might be cheaper than the whole pole.
Well, it would be cheaper than that. I
So,
wonder if there's a way to get something that we could just put in the ground at the new park or this park that would have the 3 extra banners on it. The three stakes of some sort to get the banners.
that was mentioned today when we were just trying to think some ideas, and then it was also brought up, but if family thinks they're going up on the nice light posts, and then
Which
if
family
they're
doesn't
set
get to
off
go
and,
up?
yeah. So, it's a problem we gotta solve. Like I said, we just got this information today, so, but they are wanting it up by 4th of July.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh.
do you know anything about light poles?
Not enough to be helpful. I'm
Do,
assuming the new ones that just got redone along, the trail are counted in that, right?
no, these are,
The ones
because
on
we
the
would have to
street.
get permission
Oxford
from the
Actually, those are the
utilities.
Utilities.
So this was our black decorative poles that, y'all helped us, that was a project for y'all. I didn't know if you had access to who the vendor was that we could call.
I don't, but I know who does.
Okay, otherwise I'm gonna have to pull a box out and start going through documents, but
Check it out.
I thought you might have more computer.
I know who that is.
Should be more light poles.
So when do we need to know about this? My thought is there a way to get the public to help the Legion and help the veterans pay for this? And how much is it, do we know?
So we know that they were $100 a banner,
Okay,
is what I was told today, and when Ron called up and talked to the veterans, and that there was 23 banners, so $2,300.
okay, so having the community try to raise $2,300 to cover that, is that an option? I mean, is that,
Who's gonna try to do that?
Ron,
What am I gonna do? I feel the fun coming on.
I mean, I think maybe we try to entertain that first before we make a decision to help out. If we can't, we can obviously do what we can to help out, but maybe the community would like to do it, you know what I mean? Let's put it out there to the community, there's a lot of supporters of the veterans, so let's give them the opportunity to do that. I don't know if it's something we can post on the Facebook page, anything like that, I don't know if that's something that we can do as a town, say we're looking for support.
Put it in the newsletter.
Yeah, in the newsletter, we're looking for donations and
So
support.
they've already technically paid for the 23, correct?
That is my understanding.
So this would just be reimbursing the Legion.
Mhm.
Like,
So
great,
the flags are already ordered and they've already paid.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
But
what
they
I
weren't
wanted.
expecting to.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
we could- donations could go back to the Legion.
Yeah.
Have we collected anything from what the Legion paid, is that what we're saying?
Yeah, so we would either, yeah, so whether we can get it through donations or and then revisit if the town should reimburse some of it, if we don't raise it all. But I just think that we should try to do our best effort to help the Legion when that was not an expense that they were
Expecting.
expecting. So with that said, that's those, which is our patriotic banners. So our banners are getting very frail. So we had spring patriotic, fall,
I just read it.
oh,
Patriotic
welcome.
Spring, Christmas and welcome.
And welcome, yes. So, the patriotics are being taken care of. So the spring, Christmas and welcome banners, there's 20 poles. I'm not saying that we have to redo them all right this second. We need to start. They were all ordered in 2017, so they're 9 years old, so that's
All of them are the
obviously,
same, all of them are the same year.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Which ones are wearing out first?
Well, I would say if we had to pick,
It was two, they were both the same year. The first was this, spring and, our current patriotic and our welcome, and then we ordered spring and Christmas. But they were all the beginning of the year and end of the year.
I mean, if we had to do 2 orders, I would say your spring could go later since we're already
Right.
through spring.
Patriotic.
And we've got the patriotic ones on order, so I would say the Christmas and the,
So if we do that, do we put up what we do have, that are frail looking, until the patriotic, because we're getting ready to put stuff up on the poles.
How long
So,
does it take?
but it may,
you're not gonna have spring ones by then anyway, right?
right, 2 to 3 weeks, so I guess, yeah, they wouldn't be.
I mean, but if we ordered the welcome ones could go up until the patriotic ones came
But
in.
you're right, by the time I get the order in and it's 2 to
Yeah.
3 weeks is what it said, 2
Yeah.
to 3 weeks.
And then we wanted the patriotic ones up by June.
Yeah, we wanted,
As
Before
soon
the-
as they- as
Soon as they
soon as-
get-
Yeah, they wanted that by July 4th, so.
Okay, but,
so I mean, if we ordered I would say order the Christmas and the welcome ones. And then if we have to fill in with the welcome banners,
So, that would save money, but then I don't know where we're gonna pull money next year unless we just know right now that we're going to
budget for.
budget for it, because we've got this riverboat money this year. We might wanna,
Well, if we've got the
I mean,
money and you wanna do it,
Is it the
let's,
same cost either way, or we get a discount for bulk? I mean,
you would probably definitely at least get shipping cheaper probably.
well, then let's do all 3.
If we have to use the riverboat money.
I mean, I will ask if I'm doing bulk, if I can get a discount, absolutely, I'm good at asking for favors, but.
Let's check on that, because if we have to use the riverboat money now, we might as well.
And I don't know yet, it depends on what we pick and how detailed information we want on them. So our welcome one just said, welcome town of welcome, it had town of Otterton on there somewhere. The more detail you have, the more colors you have, the more expensive. So I'm gonna try to pick more generic I don't wanna be generic, but more
Simple.
simple, there you go, that's the word, simple. You
Get to
know,
the point.
obviously the Christmas ones wouldn't have any Otterburn or anything. Do you want that on the welcome? Do you want it just to say welcome? Do you want it to say something about Otterburn? It doesn't matter to me, I'm just asking what you want, I'll throw it together.
I mean, welcome is good, they know they're not good.
Right?
Right. If they don't, then.
Yeah, I would say just a nice welcome should be good enough.
I'm trying to think I know we had something with Otterburn on it. I don't remember if it's the welcome ones
It
or
might
not.
say welcome to Otterburn.
It might, but
But sometimes when you get so much on that your
So small.
print's so small, you can't read it anyway.
okay, so you want me to do spring?
Christmas and welcome.
Okay. Yeah, because we usually do the patriotic from July to November. That's a long time. Those are really looking for, because we usually leave them up the longest. We used to do internet like the welcome and then a patriotic, a welcome and a patriotic. But,
A lot of changing.
So I was like, well, maybe we could take them down to help preserve like the picture one, but then I'm like, you want them up for Veterans Day if they're the veterans, right?
right. So,
And that's November,
so when we take the veterans down and we put up the welcome, what I'm saying is we could do a welcome and like 10 poles would have welcome, 10 poles would have spring or summer or fall, or we've never had fall ones. But that's because we leave them up for Veterans Day, so they're up, so.
Then fall's gone.
and then we go into Christmas.
Christmas, yeah.
So I would say the welcome ones would be like 10 welcome ones and 10 spring ones, and then the patriotic and then Christmas. Does that sound like a good game plan?
Sounds good to me.
What's your thoughts, Craig? You're thinking, I see your wheels turning.
We need digital, so you can just change it out. Sorry.
Is mine was through their
So
trades.
back when we
Mine-
did
mine
the
goes-
polls, the digital wasn't an option.
They're a lot more expensive too.
Yeah. Is mine was
So 10 welcome, 10 spring, 20 Christmas. Is that what we said? And then we already got the patriotic, so we're good?
And we got 23 patriotic.
We're good.
Okay,
Yeah, long term, we may need to think about that, right, because that is gonna probably grow, the number of veterans that we have available, so you think of ways to add more
Ways to-
poles or.
Or display the.
the double-sided, so we'll look into if we can add another bar on the other side, so they would just be two on, one on each side of the poles.
So if we extended poles down Main Street,
Isn't the flower
north and
Folder.
south.
right
So the
across?
flower poles are below the flags,
Okay.
so,
I'll take some pictures before I leave, so.
yes. And I don't mind making calls, I just don't even know who
Yeah.
to
we can
call,
find that. I'm
so.
spinning on it, I wonder if you get doubles for all of them. You've got 23 veteran banners, you know, it'll probably go up in the future, you get 17 general patriotic to spread around, so you've got doubles on all of them. That's not a resident of Otterburn. Symmetry's nice.
Okay,
Sounds good.
and then, so, like I said in the email, based on how simple or how complex they are, they are
70
running.
to 150.
Yeah, and so the guy said 75 to 100 for, that's the company that we've always used, so,
I mean, that sounds reasonable
Yeah.
for
which is right in line with the patriotics are 100 apiece, so.
Yep.
All right,
And those are pictures. Those are like actual pictures,
Yeah.
so.
so, and this would also come from that riverbed. Can I have a motion that I can order these?
Yes.
Make a motion to order the banners.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
And I was hoping flowers would be up by Mother's Day, but we've had a crazy week and I haven't got to order the flowers, so hopefully by next week. I'm hoping to work on them tomorrow, but the birds did a number on them.
Oh,
They, like, every single one is gonna have to be tore apart and redone rather than just add. So last year, we rebuilt them,
right.
and so they should have lasted 2 years, and the birds just,
They were too pretty, the birds wanted to be there
they
too.
ate them, they are just, there's some that just have stubbles,
Oh.
and it's
Well, that
flowers.
would kind of hurt the bird, wouldn't it?
I'm like,
I don't know exactly, it's not like the real.
I mean,
That's what
they
gets my
still-
That's what's on your windshield.
So, I mean, there's still flowers in them, but there's a lot of stubble, like, I don't think there's any saving it, I think I just gotta, so. We had some extra flowers, and then I've ordered some extra flowers, so hopefully what I have is enough between what I ordered. And
They were
what's
beautiful.
there.
I know.
So, that's my game plan to work on the tomorrow. So. But if anybody asks, they're getting up
They're
soon.
working on it. Okay. Anything else for us, Ms. Truder?
I don't have any, yes, we had, I emailed it to y'all today, it's this Crown, that's our financial consulting firm. They do the rate studies and everything, and they have updated their engagement letter. It does not change any of the hourly rates or anything, doesn't change any of that. It's just they were making more clear division of responsibilities. So, but they would like us to re-sign this letter saying that we understand that it's just client responsibility and their responsibilities, but none of the fees have changed. Okay,
So we need to vote on that.
yes, please.
Need a motion to go ahead and re-sign the new.
I'll make a motion to re-sign and use Chrome General.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
And lastly, I can give you some information on the wastewater project if you want, or we don't have to waste time on it, about what was in the budget, what we just heard that's there, took under advisement for them to review, and the first stab at rate increases.
Let's hear
Let's hear it, okay. So, the grant application had construction being $969,200. When our rate consultants worked on the rate increase, on the rate study, they were using a total of $991,300, so I'm not sure that little difference, what that is. I don't know if they were looking at some of the alternates, I don't know where that little difference is. Or if they were just inflating it because it had been a while since we, there's always the time delay of applying for the grant and having it. So, anyway, they were estimating the whole project to be $1,360,000. It's if we do all the alternates and everything, obviously that's going to be, well, even if we just do the base, it's gonna be more than that. But at that point, when they were doing preliminary, because we thought we were gonna bond ahead, and then we were like, well, let's wait and see what the actual numbers are. They were proposing a 21.3% increase on sewer, and that would make our sewer, so water, sewer, storm, the combined sewer rate is currently, the numbers they used, which was 25 numbers, which we've already had an increase in 26, was 152.69. That does not include trash. So that's water, sewer, storm, our utility bill is 152.69 was the current rates, and they were proposing going up to 160.41. And so we believe that with the rate increase that went into effect in January, we're looking at about a $10 to $15, depending on how this falls, rate increase on just the sewer.
What is $152.69? Is that a $152.69?
Yes, $152.69 is the current, what was the rate in 2025?
And that is a rate per what?
So that's for 4,000 gallons. 4,000 gallons of water. That's the state average. So they always, when you see a rate study, everything is based on 4,000 gallons.
Okay.
Okay? So people who use more than 4,000 gallons will have even a bigger, obvious raise. So there is a flat rate associated with our sewer, and then there's a two-part to our sewer, and then the actual per gallon rate. And the per gallon rate, I have that. Where's that 21% increase? This proposed, the meter flow rate, I don't see where they put the base rate, but the flow rate, Craig, would be $10.24 per 1,000 gallons of sewer. And at the time they pulled our numbers, it was $8.44. But like I said, there's the base rate that's in there too. And I don't know if I just didn't pull that page when I was pulling this information out of the rate study. But I think that's a good for you guys to start wrapping your head around, because I'm guessing we're gonna see $12 to $15 increases. So you might wanna think of that while Chris is reviewing this, and if we're gonna go with just base, or if we're gonna do the alternates. But I will say, if we don't do the alternates now, that's probably not gonna happen for another 20 years.
Yeah.
Because that's what the bond is.
This needs to be done.
So how, we'll have grant money for this too, right?
So that's $750,000 in grant funds. And then we were originally in the grant application, we were going to borrow $530,200.
And that's based on the 969, 200.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Because you have construction cost, and then you have your professional fees, and then you have labor standards, and you have environmental review, and you have your grant administration. So at this point in time, those numbers are going to go. Going to go up.
So I'm just looking at the apparent low bidder. Obviously, it's not, review's not completed, but just give you a understanding of that. If you look at their total, so base plus alternate 1 plus alternate 2, it's about 267,000 over what was put in the grant application. And then their,
So the grant was 750,000 and we were gonna borrow 530,200. So 1.28-ish, right?
Well, yes, 1,280,200.
Yeah.
And so now we have that construction cost, but we still have our soft costs. And when they did the preliminary rate study, they were showing we were gonna borrow 610. Because they were,
that's that $22,000
Yeah.
difference. Yeah.
so obviously, if we did it all, that 610 that was in the proposed. But then that's when we said, let's just wait, we don't wanna guesstimate, we wanna have actual numbers.
Yeah.
So then we just stopped to work on the rate study until we had actual numbers to work with. So the next part is he'll confirm if the numbers are good or not. Then I feed that information to the rate consultant and he revised the rate study, and then we can see.
Where we're at.
And if you want, I can have him, this is what the rate study is with base, this is what it is with the 2 alternates. I can get those 2 pictures. But I don't think the 2 alternates is not gonna add, when you're looking at 20 years, isn't gonna
No.
I mean, it's gonna add, but not huge. And then I think that you have to look at the fact that
I think
we're
that-
not gonna borrow any more money probably, hopefully, for 20 more years, because we already have
Well, and the
a
benefit of,
bond, and now we're gonna go into
Yeah.
another bond.
Right.
and the benefit of doing the 2 alternate bids.
Reduces the amount of stormwater coming to your plant.
Correct, which will save plant facilities
It saves energy
usually,
costs
yeah.
and the wear and tear on
Yeah.
running more than they need to.
Which will just cost more in the long run,
Mhm.
probably more than those 2 numbers combined.
Yeah, so, I need, and I'm not sure, because he said current rates, and we were giving him 2025's information. And Dee and I today was looking at this, and I'm like, that doesn't look like even the 2025 rates. So I've got it, which is why it's a draft. He wants me to verify our numbers. So I'm verifying our numbers, but I definitely see that we're gonna be even, if we do the alternates too, we're gonna probably be more than that 610 that's in this. He's gonna have to revise that number, so. And then we're gonna, turn around and do stormwater. And the stormwater rates will go up.
It's a cycle.
I'm not trying to be a bearer of bad news, but it's things that I think you all need to start thinking about before we start just throwing things at you to meet all the deadlines to get the project bid and under contract with the grant and all that. I wanted you to have some time to think and some time to think of questions that you might have.
Kind of knew that it was going to go up eventually.
Well, when you gotta replace and fix what's there for it to work.
Right.
or you're gonna have other issues when it doesn't work.
Because I then come in and said that you guys need to get this under control.
Then they have,
You're
And they have,
forcing
we
it.
are already, we're,
Well, I mean, I know that we've already had a violation once before.
yeah, some of the items in this project are to address recurring
Issues
comments
that
that
they
I
have.
haven't asked for.
Yeah, the
The sewer lining being one of those big components.
was texting me about the table.
So, Craig, to answer one of your questions, sometimes it takes me a minute to think through what I'm being asked. So that debt reserve, what debt reserve is the bonding authority makes us, they usually give us 5 years to then have 1 year's payment. Sometimes it's 1.25 because they want a little extra in there. Sometimes it's 1.4, so he's saying calculated bond coverage is 1.4. So they want that much money so that it's covering 1 or 1.4 of an annual payment sitting in reserve. So that if the town starts getting into financial issues, we have a year of payments sitting there to figure out how we're going to not fault on the bonds. So that's why we have, so, sometimes people look at our fund reports and they're like, you've got all this money. Well, we don't, we can't touch it. Because the big ones are the debt reserves, but we can't touch it because it's required by our bond to have that sitting there.
Assuming our interest on
So yes, so we can earn interest, and that's where I was saying, and then once they're fully funded, that interest being earned goes towards the bonded interest to pay down debt.
Invested stocks. Should have invested in Caterpillar.
So is that more what you were trying to ask me?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm trying to understand what that reserve fund is.
yes.
When it hits that, so when do you start paying back that overage in the bond, so.
So, you will start over the next couple months, couple meetings, really be bombarded with all of numbers and finances and rate studies and everything. So I just thought if we had a minute to let me start going
Ease
through
us into it.
what kind of things you'll be looking at. I was gonna send out the draft rate study, the whole thing, but then I thought, but it's going to change, and I didn't want you guys wasting time on a
draft.
draft that's really a draft, because we knew the numbers were some of the numbers the historical data is correct, but that they use to get to their information, but. Okay. So the last thing I need to ask, so at this point, when they do a rate study, we tell them if there's anything else we're planning, if there's any change in personnel, is there any huge rates, like salary or health insurance. Obviously, I can look at health insurance, but I don't foresee us adding employee. I mean, it would be great to take 2 part-timers and turn them into 1 full-timer. That would be great. But then we would be having 2 part-time salaries to cover that 1 full-time salary. That has hit us hard because we didn't have everything budgeted for what we're paying out in salaries when we did the rate study the last time. So that does impact because we're not putting away in reserve into depreciation money because we're spending it all. So they typically do a 3 to 5% a year increase, but if we think it's gonna be more than that on our expenses, we need to feed them. Like if we know of something, they just look at historical, do an inflation margin and move on, unless we know of something big utility-wise that we think we're gonna be doing. you don't have to answer me that right this second, but probably by the next meeting. What kind of information would you like me to feed you that might help guide you if you want anything else put into the rate study? So just think about that. I mean, the employee situation, where it's hit us the hardest is not having that full-time person, but we do have 2 part-time. But with that said, it still holds true that in the winter, there's not as enough to keep everybody busy. But this time of year, we have
Too much.
too much work to do. So that's just a problem that we're gonna keep fighting. But,
And it's all gonna flow into budget time.
the consultant, with us having the
Disappears
consultant,
quick.
the consulting position, that's very expensive versus an employee in that position, has really hurt us, a lot financially, because we have to pay for that out of general. I've been paying out of general because it's building and zoning, but in order to do that, we shift other things to the utilities. I mean, that's just the facts of life, we just shift the expense of employees. Someone said,
Consulting, and
yeah, so,
I think we need to revisit Tim's situation a little bit at some point in time.
yeah, I think we need to have a special session to really sit down and talk about all of it,
Yeah.
all of it. You know, what is the future of Otterburn and what are we gonna do and what needs done to get us to the finish line? So,
Sooner than later.
yeah. Yeah, we do put a lot of money out. So, the game plan for my office is when Betsy went down to 1 day a week, then I'm leaving. Currently, we've talked among ourselves and it's gonna be proposed that I will become a consultant 1 day a week to help make sure there's any questions, review the finances to make sure we're not hitting until she gets more familiar with that. But at this point, we don't feel, with me coming in 1 day a week, Betsy coming in 1 day a week, that our current budget will absorb that, and we won't be hiring the 3rd person until Debbie and Dee are more
Stable.
able. And then I would go away, and then you would have the money to hire that 3rd person. So
And then would Betsy still stay 1 day a week? We don't know. We need one of you.
So I think, to be honest, just to tell you what I'm doing with other communities that have new clerk treasurers, I've been consulting with them. I start with 1 day a week, and then I go down to 2 days, so then the next year I go down to twice a month. And then some have, like, we're good, and others like, no, we want you here.
Yeah.
1 to 2 days a month. So I kind of envision that to be the steps here.
Okay.
But by all means, if you guys have a difference of opinion, because once we are getting close to budget season, I will need to work that into next year's
Well,
budget.
I would think and hope you would let us know how comfortable Dee is getting to take over the position. I mean, if we need you 1 day a week, when are you comfortable of going to twice a month? When do you think she can handle it without you and us worrying about everything that she is going to be learning that you do.
Right, and I have been toying with, is it 1 day a week or 2 days a week in the beginning?
Yeah.
We're still getting there, so hopefully in the next few months, we have, clerk school, July 5th, the week of July 15th. So I think that maybe her going to that and asking me questions and seeing,
Might help a lot too.
it might, so, yeah, but the position, and this is the problem, why there's a need for consultants in this field, is you're elected, you don't have to have any background. Thank goodness we have somebody that has a little background. And there's nobody that understands it for oversight, and there's not a lot of training. We get training twice a year.
Yeah.
For a few hours. I mean, it's not, so you just throw these people and say, here it is, and it's.
Yeah,
Sink or
that's
swim
crazy.
and,
You'd think that they would have more training.
Because the town is trusting this person to keep
Right.
us going
Right,
and not get in trouble like we did a few years ago.
right.
Big time.
Mhm. So that's the fight that's been across for quite a while. And fortunately, I feel that we have a good transition plan, but it's not gonna be, unless you can get another consultant other than Triva, but I mean, there's other ones out there.
No, because you know everything here.
But a town that has a new clerk without anybody oversight, it's not, those are the ones that are getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then for Dee to be able to have time to train Debbie, or is Debbie having to learn stuff on her own?
So, we just had a big conversation about that, that Dee needs to be moving closer into the clerk's role, and that Debbie needs to start learning some of what Dee's been doing, that was Betsy's desk. And so, Debbie sat with Dee a few times while Dee ran payroll. And this past week, Betsy sat with Debbie, and Debbie ran payroll while Betsy was making sure that all the training or that the questions were being answered. So, and now we're gonna start training her on some other things. And I think the role is gonna be that Triva and Betsy's going to be more diligent with Debbie too, rather than just Debbie, you train what you've learned.
Right.
We're gonna train her too.
Is it possible Betsy might want to come an extra day a week occasionally through
I can
this?
talk to her,
And on a day that she's free or not doing
right,
anything
I can
else?
talk to her.
I mean, I honestly think it would just help, you know, to have her here an extra day to get everybody trained.
So, I think the biggest thing is the day-to-day things, the repetitive things are okay. It's all those things that just,
Oh,
like,
get you.
like bonds and grants, and that's just gonna take time. Understanding the budget process, understanding.
No, you're just not.
It takes a while for anybody to
It takes-
understand the budget
yes.
process.
State Board of Accounts used to say to new clerks, don't quit. And Charlie Pride, he was our big guy for a long time with State Board of Accounts. He would say, the first term, which is the first 4 years, you're like, what am I doing? I'm just going through the motions and not connecting the dots. The second term, you start getting the aha moments. And by the third term, you're good.
Mhm.
That's what he would say. So he kept saying, don't quit.
Mhm.
But that's when State Board of Accounts was more helpful.
Yeah,
And when they would do an audit, they would come in and they would help you understand why to do something different. And now they're like, you did this wrong and we can't tell you how to fix it.
oh geez, well,
Because they're the audit
that's
people.
not good. That's
So they got their hands slapped by who they report to, and now they can't help us as much as they used to. It's just the
Nature of the beast.
nature of the beast. But then it's left a lot of communities in financial issues because they don't get it.
Right.
So, all right, well, that's where we're at. I think I'm done talking unless you have questions.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, then I will take a motion to adjourn at 7:25.
Make a motion to adjourn, 7:25.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
This signed. Let me make sure I spelled these right before I take those away.
Yep.